It's time to talk about time. You know, that thing that goes way too fast or way too slow. This is Nessa on ESL Top 10, and today we are going to go over some common words and phrases related to tick, 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 time. Before we get started, let me just remind you that this lesson comes with the free PDF and self-study worksheet. So you'll get all the definitions of these expressions with examples, plus little exercises that you can do to reinforce and practice this new vocabulary. So let's get started with number one. So number one is a 2-for-1. So you're getting one for free. What's the difference between on time and in time? Let's start with on time. On time means you're not late. So if you have to be at work at 8:30 and you get there at 8:25, you're on time. If you get there at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're still on time. And if you get there at 8:29 or 8:30, you are still on time. In time, we usually use with a verb after. In time means you're not too late. You're not too late to do something. So let's go back to that example. Let's say you have a meeting at work at 8:30, but you get there at 8:35. So you're not on time, right? You're a little bit late, but you are in time to discuss the agenda. You didn't miss that. Or if you go to a movie and you're a little bit late because the movie starts at 8:15 and you get there at 8:20, but you arrived in time to watch the trailers. You weren't too late to do something. Number two, ages and forever. I'm putting these together because they have the exact same meaning. So ages and forever just mean a very long time. So if you go to a really popular restaurant and you have to wait in line for a long time, you could say, I had to wait forever to get a table, or I had to wait ages to get a table. If you see a friend on the street who you haven't seen for a long time, you could say, oh my God, I haven't seen you in ages. I haven't seen you in forever. What's going on? Number three, take your time. This is a cool way to say, don't worry, you don't have to hurry. It's okay. So let's say you're getting ready to go out with a few friends, and one of your friends is being a little bit slow. Maybe she's on her phone texting a friend. So, and she says, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll be done in 2 minutes. You could say to her, don't worry, take your time. It means you don't have to hurry. So when you're watching this video, I encourage you to take your time as well. Even though I might talk a bit quickly and go over the facts quickly, you can always stop, rewind, and rewatch. Take your time with these videos. That's the awesome thing about video. Number four, it's about time. It's about time means finally. We use this when we've been waiting for something and waiting for it, and finally it happens. So it's early in the morning. Again, maybe you're taking the bus to school, but the bus is late. It's late. It's late. It's 15 minutes late. And when it finally gets there to the bus stop, you could say to your friend or maybe another passenger who's been waiting, God, it's about time. Number five, running late. Running late is just a cool way for you to say about yourself or maybe the bus that something is later or behind schedule. So again, your bus is supposed to arrive at 8 o'clock in the morning and it's 8:15. It still hasn't arrived. It still hasn't gotten to the bus stop. You could text your boss or coworker and say, you know what, I'm sorry, but the bus is running late. If you have a meeting with a friend, an appointment, and you think you're going to be 15 minutes late or 20 minutes late, you could text them and say, I'm so sorry, but I'm running a bit late. I should be there in about 15 minutes. Number 6, sharp. Sharp. Sharp in this context means exactly, but it's only related to time. An example would be, I live in Vancouver and there are many islands around Vancouver, so we often take the ferry. So usually with ferry schedules, they don't arrive around 6 p.m. It's pretty exact when you load and when they depart. So if a friend asked you, what time does the ferry leave? You wouldn't want to say it leaves around 6 o'clock p.m. You would want to tell your friend it leaves at 6 p.m. sharp. It's going to be there at exactly 6 p.m. Or if you have a meeting and it's an important meeting, you could tell your boss or coworker that the meeting will start at 11 a.m. sharp. Number 7. Again, we're going to do 2 because they have the exact same meaning. In a sec and in a flash. It means in a very short period of time. If you're hanging out with friends and you have to maybe go upstairs to make a phone call, you could tell them, guys, I'll be back in a sec. And then you kind of disappear and then you're back. Same thing with in a flash. You're at work, you're talking to a customer, you want to go check the back to see if a product is available. You could say, I'll be back in a flash. Number 8, an all-nighter. An all-nighter is a noun. An all-nighter means that you have not slept for the whole night. You've been awake for the full night, usually working or studying. Because it's a noun, you have to use a verb with it. For example, I had to work an all-nighter last night. Or I have a test tomorrow. So tonight I'm going to have an all-nighter. If your friend asks you why you're tired in the morning, you could say, oh my God, I pulled an all-nighter last night. I had to study for today's test. Number 9. At the crack of dawn. Well, what's dawn? Let's start with that. Dawn is the time of day when the sun rises. The opposite is dusk. Dusk is when the sun sets. And if you have to do something very early in the morning, you could say you have to do it at the crack of dawn. If you had a flight and the flight leaves at 6 a.m., so you have to be at the airport at 5 a.m., you could say, I have to be up at the crack of dawn. Or, my flight was at the crack of dawn. Number 10. Time is up. Time is up means there is no time left. You could use this if you were playing a game where you have a certain amount of time to get a job done. So you have a counter, tick, 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 tick. When the time is finished, you could say, time's up, stop. Or maybe on a test, you have maybe an hour, and in the last minute, your teacher would say, guys, time's up. And you know what, cats? Time is up today. This is the end of the lesson, but make sure you get your free PDF and self-study worksheet with examples and definitions for these phrases, plus exercises. Just check the links below. And tune back next week for another lesson. This is Nessa on ESL Top 10, and I will catch you next time. Time.